Hey guys, Jake here, and today I've got my week number 9 match of the CPC. This week we are going up against Will, who's coach of the San Antonio Sparce. Will's a pretty good player, and since this is a divisional match, this is the second time we will be playing Will. Last time we did have a pretty good 4-0 victory versus Will. We were kind of in control the whole game, so I was feeling pretty confident coming into this match, but both of us have made transactions since then, so I'll read off his team right now. His team consists of Mega Kangaskhan, Mamoswine, Tornadus T, Alolan Muck, Fortress Keldeo, Aromatisse, Volcarona, which is a Z-Mon, and he's also got Manectric and Beheeyem. So he's still got a pretty threatening team. He's got the Mega Kangaskhan, which is of course a huge threat, but basically I felt like I had a pretty solid matchup. I had decent checks to most of his threats. But I also knew that the same sort of tricks I used last time were not going to work this time. I knew Will would definitely prep differently this time in order to not fall into the same traps that he did the last game. But yeah, so let me talk about his team. He brought the Beheeyem, and Beheeyem is no meme, my friends. Beheeyem was actually probably the biggest threat to me in prep. I knew it was a big threat, but I still didn't prep that well for it. My thought process was I could pressure it a lot with my hard hitters to the point where it wouldn't be too much of a problem, but as you can see, it does prove to be quite the threat. He's also got the Volcarona. I'm not too scared of Volcarona because I do have my Azumarill to revenge it. Something like a Pashoberry Volcarona could be pretty scary, but it has more move slot syndrome versus my team. Also, you can only OHKO my Garchomp at +1 if he has like hidden Power Ice, and you can only OHKO my Venusaur at +1 if he has Shattered Psyche. So I'm not too worried about Volcarona, but it could always be scary. He's also got the Torrentee, which it's pretty. I do have like one of the best Torrentee counters in the game in Zapdos, but if my Zapdos goes down, then Torrentee is definitely really threatening. I don't have the other great answers to it. I do have my Blaziken can revenge it if it's low enough, but still a pretty scary mon. He's also got the Alolan Muck. The Alolan Muck, I knew he'd bring it for my Hoopa, but I do have good physical breakers for it, so I'm not that concerned. He's also got the Mega Kangaskhan. Depending on the set, it can definitely put in a ton of work. Also, I can't use the same Rough Skin Rocky Helmet and or Garchomp that I did last time, because I know he's either gonna, one, run a bulkier variant, so he's not taking all that damage, and if he does, he could at least recover, or two, run Ice Beam Kangaskhan, so 2 would KO me, and he avoids all damage. And he's also got the Mamoswine. I'm not too scared of Mamoswine. I do have pretty solid checks to it. I do have my Bronzong, my Azumarill, my Venusaur, and he can't really lock himself into Earthquake this game if he's Scarfed, because I have my Zapdos, I have my Bronzong. So yeah, let's get into my team real quick. I've got physically defensive Rocky Helmet, Bronzong. This mon is basically what I'm going to be switching into the Kangaskhan. I don't expect him to have Crunch, but if he does, that's fine. He's still taking a good amount of damage, and I don't even get to a KO'd unless he's adamant. And I could also Toxic it to put it on a quick timer, or I can also I also have Gyro Ball and KT Substitute. This is also my rocker this week. Rocks are really nice for the Torn and the Volcarona, so I want to try and get them up early. He did not bring any hazard removal, which is pretty important. Yeah, I've also, next mon I've got is Swords Dance, Rocky Helm, or not Rocky Helm, Yachi Berry Garchomp. This Garchomp can really put in a ton of work. He doesn't have great switch-ins to it. I've got Swords Dance, Earthquake, Outrage, and Rock Slide. Earthquake is just really good versus team. Rock Slide is for Volcarona and Tornadus T, and Outrage is just a really hard-hitting move. He doesn't have great switch-ins besides the Aromatisse and the Fortress, neither of which he brought, so Outrage is pretty spammable versus him, so that's pretty nice. Next mon I've got is the Bandit Azumarill. This mon's priority is great this game. It's really nice for the Volcarona, the Tornadus, and the Mamoswine. I'm banded because he really doesn't have great switch-ins to it besides the fortress, but I'm not too worried about the fortress this game. But yeah, this banded Azu is nice because it ensures that I can one-shot the Volcarona. Unless he's like bulky or if he's Pasho Berry, but if he's Pasho Berry, then like he's not Z move, and he still can't one-shot me unless he has Giga Drain. So yeah, this thing also can one-shot Mamoswine after rocks, so that's pretty solid. The next round I've got is a physically defensive Mega Venusaur. I'm Fizz Def to take his from Mamoswine. He can't do a KO me if he's Life Orb, if he's Jolly Life Orb, so that's really nice. This mon can also take a hit from Kangaskhan and Sleep Powder it, and it's also pretty decent to take a hit from Volcarona and Sleep Powder it. I've also got Mixed Defensive Zapdos, Mixed Defense, so I can take some hits from Kangaskhan better. It can also like take a Icicle Cries from Mamoswine. But this thing's main job is to deal with Tornadus T. I've also got Defog because if he tried to spike stack me with Fortress, that could be really scary. So I don't have Drill Peck like I did last time, but that's quite alright. I've also got U-Turn for the momentum in case I think he's going Mamoswine. So that's nice. And then the next one I've got is a Scarf Blaziken yet again. Scarf Blaziken is really solid because he didn't bring up higher resist. And it's nice for revenging stuff like Kangaskhan, Mamoswine, Tornadus, Volcarona if he hasn't boosted up yet, and it can do a lot of damage to the muck. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So I decide to lead with my my Azumarill. So here I decide to switch out turn 1 into my Garchomp because I don't want to take a Gunk Shot or a Poison Jab. I don't want my Azumarill like dying this early on because it's just really useful this game for the Mamoswine and for the Volcarona. So Garchomp is a pretty safe switch as he goes for the Curse, which is pretty scary, but it's fine. I can live any one hit and do a ton of damage with an Earthquake. I do about 70% and I do a KO him, but I actually get a crit. Well, this crit was really unfortunate. He said he was defensive Figgy, so like he would have been back up to a really good amount of health, but he couldn't actually 2-hit KO me with knockoff at all, and I would have just SD'd again and then clicked Earthquake, but and killed him. But like it's still pretty unfortunate because now my Garchomp's at full health, and yeah, that does kind of suck. So I apologize for that, Will. But yeah, next he brings out his Kangaskhan. Not quite sure what he... So this makes me think he either has Ice Beam, or he just has Ice Punch again, and I don't want my Garchomp taking either. Like, I can live any, but I want to keep this thing... I want to keep this thing's Yashi intact for stuff like Volcarona. So I just decided to make the safe switch into my Bronzong, as he actually goes for the Toxic, which is nice. Here I'm just going to actually go for the Toxic. I wanted that Kangaskhan poisoned. I really wanted to get it on a timer. Perhaps in hindsight, maybe I should have gone for my rocks, but I don't think it was that big of a misplay. Now he goes into his Volcarona, and here what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna go hard into my Garchomp because if he Quiver Dances, then I can live any one hit and OHKO him with Rock Slide, and he can't OHKO me unless he's Savage Spin Out. But the reason I refrain from going into my Azumarill is it's honestly kind of a predictable play, and I know Will likes the Bloom Doom Volcarona. He's brought it a lot in the past, even when it doesn't make the most sense in my opinion. But anyways, yeah, I just decided to go into my Garchomp. Pretty safe switch, honestly, and I can just threaten him out with Rock Slide. As this turn he decides to go straight for the Quiver Dance, which is quite alright. As I said, I don't think he'll be able to one-shot me, and I can one-shot him back. He just goes for the HP Ice, and I live, and I OHKO him with Rock Slide. And yeah, here's where the crit on the Muck kind of sucked, because I wouldn't have lived to that HP Ice. But then again, I did have my Azu to revenge the Volcarona if things got nasty. So I wasn't that scared. Like, Volcarona was not going to sweep me this game. There was no way. Because he was Z-move, he was not in Passion Berry. He told me after the match. So yeah, here he goes out into his Behemoth, and this thing is really threatening, and I don't want him, like, setting up a Trick Room for free. What I'm actually going to do on this turn is I'm just going to go straight for the Outrage. I want this thing damaged so it's in range of my Azumarill as early as possible. So yeah, I don't really need my Garchomp anymore. It dies to Mamoswine. Can't do that much damage to Kangaskhan and dies to Torrentee, so I'm just going to fire up an Outrage. As I do a really nice chunk to the Behemoth as he kills me with Shadow Ball. And we don't see an item, so we know he like isn't Trick Room Life Orb. Now, here I go on to my Venusaur. I didn't want to lock myself into a move with Blaziken or Azumarill, and Zapdos just let him go into Mamoswine, and if he went into Mamoswine, like on my, I guess I would have U-turned, but like if he ever gets into Mamoswine without my Venusaur having been Mega Evolved, it's pretty I'd be in a predicament, but basically I can go into my Venusaur. I know he's going to be slower than me. I can just fire off a Sludge Bomb. He goes onto the Torrentee, and that's fine. That damage does reveal that he's not a Sulfess, so that's good to know. Here I'm just going to make the obvious but safe switch into my Zapdos as he goes for the U-turn. This is fine because now I have my Venusaur Mega Evolved, and so like he can't 2-KO me with Bicycle Crashes. He goes down to his Mamoswine. And I'm just going to go hard into my Venusaur here. Don't really lose much from it. As he actually goes for the knockoff, predicting my Bronzong, which is perfect. And now I'm able to fire off Sleep Powder. As he goes into his Kangaskhan and I miss, which kind of sucks, but I guess he can call justice for the crit on the Muck. But I don't want my Venusaur being set up fodder, because if he does, if he like power up punch, that could be a bit concerning. But I actually go right into my Bronzong because I can like toxic this thing as he actually goes for the Wish. So he definitely is a bulkier Kangaskhan, but that's fine. I'm just gonna fire for toxic, but he actually goes into a Behemoth, so a good play on his part. Perhaps I should have predicted that, but it's fine. So here I still want to keep this Bronzong around for the Kangaskhan. From the way he's played his Kangaskhan, I feel like it definitely doesn't have crunch, so I can pretty much shut it down, which is nice. So I'm just gonna go on to my Zapdos, thinking I can't get 2-KO'd by Shadow Ball, which is I think he's gonna go for it. But he actually makes a great prediction and goes for the Psyshock, and that's definitely Specs Analytic Behemoth. So that was a great play on Will's part. And now I'm actually in a pretty rough spot because my Zapdos is low. It's in range of like an HPS from the Tornadus T, which means I definitely need to keep that Torn low in range of my Blaziken and Azumarill, or else that Torn can really be scary. But yeah, here I just click U-turn, kind of, because I would have gone to my Bronzong because I know he specs, but I go for the U-turn. He actually goes into this Mamoswine, and this is nice because now I go into my Venusaur and I can try hitting another Sleep Powder, as he actually goes into his Torrentee, which is great because now this thing is asleep, and if my Zapdos ever gets in, I can roost on it. Now here he pulls on to a double. I go into my Azumarill because I know he won't wake up this turn, and I actually OHKO him with Banded Waterfall, but he actually doubles into his Kangaskhan. I guess expecting my Zapdos, and he didn't want to go into Mamoswine because I would just lose him to momentum, but I double down to my Azos, he goes out into his Kangaskhan. I do have superpower to one-shot this thing, and I can live any one hit, so I'm just going to go for that. As he goes for the double edge, actually, which was a bit odd, caught me off guard, because he was actually defensive with double edge, but I don't mind, because I'm able to one-shot the Kangaskhan, which is really nice. But now he goes down to his Behemoth, and he can get another kill. So I actually just decided to take my Bronzong here. I don't need it, and that thing just drops to a Spec Shadow Ball, which just shows the sheer power of Behemoth. But yeah, here I can go onto my Scarf Blaziken. I do kill it with Flare Blitz, as he actually goes down to his Torrentee, which takes a million from that Scarf Flare Blitz. So he is gonna die the next Flare Blitz, but he sends in his Mamoswine, and I'm thinking this thing is probably Scarfed. By the way, he's been playing it, and we haven't seen Life Orb. and I don't really want to risk a speed tie. I am max Jolly, but I don't want to risk a speed tie because, again, the Torrent can get kind of scary, and the Behemoth if this falls. So I'm just going to go on to my Venusaur as he goes for the Icicle Crash, and I take that well. Now, I'm just going to go for the Sludge Bomb because it hits the Torrent, it hits the Behemoth and this, but, and it kills this. But he actually flinches me, and actually, if he flinches me here, I could be in a bit of trouble. But thankfully, as you can see, he does not flinch me, as I'm able to kill him with Sludge Bomb. Here he goes down to his Torn. He stays asleep that turn, but I kill him with the Sludge Bomb. And I crit, but it didn't really matter at this point because he stayed in. I pretty much just cleaned up with Blaziken or Azumarill. It really is my choice, but yeah, that crit has been unfortunate in the fact that I didn't wake up. So yeah, now he goes down to his Behemoth. I can just Sludge Bomb and get this thing in like guaranteed range of Blaziken, and Blaziken is gonna pick up the last kill. So I actually go for Brave Bird because I wanted to get a kill with Brave Bird Blaziken because I think it's cool that Blaziken gets Brave Bird. But anyway, yeah, we pick up a nice 3-0 win versus Will. That was a fun game. I actually commend you because you made that game rather close considering how tough a matchup was for you. So yeah, nice job in that regard. So yeah, now we are 9-0 and we are actually clinched for the playoffs, which is really cool. We're looking like we'll probably get the first seed in our conference, unless I choke it away. But which means, assuming like things stay where they are, I'm lined up to play Verd round 1 of playoffs, which is pretty cool and also pretty scary. But yeah, I still want to try and lock up that first place seed in our conference because I'd rather play Verd than Turk, because I feel like Turk has a better matchup versus me. But anyways, yeah, that was a good game to Will. Fun game. And thank you all for watching. Bye.